Hello everyone, Happy New Year, Happy 2023. I hope you're feeling amazing and well rested. Welcome back to my channel, Read Good, Draw Bad, where I love to read great books and I love to draw really bad. And we are thinking about all the wonderful things we're going to read this year. I know I am trying to put some goals forward that can sort of propel me into the new year. And even if you're not, I hope you have a wonderful January. I'm ready to tell you about a really fun project that I've lined up for this channel. But before we get to that, I thought it would be nice for me to give you a quick little mini review of all the books that I read in December. I would also like to point out that I had big plans. I had everything written out to make a best books of 2022. However, when I got to it, I didn't have time to film. I don't know about you, but the holidays this year were so busy. If you're interested and want to know what my best books of 2022 were, you can follow me on Twitter at Read Good, Draw Bad, and there you can see sort of the list that I put forward and why I thought some of them were the most amazing book of 2022 for me. Okay, so mini reviews. Let's go. Lincoln and the Bardo, highly unsatisfying. Deadly Education, Harry Potter, but with better, scarier monsters. Sea of Tranquility, a time travel book. I don't really love time travel books. Five Little Indians, amazing writing, very hard read, very important subject for Canadians. The Way of the Superior Man, Relationships 101 for the dude bro. Book lovers, should have been excellent, kinda lukewarm. Normal People by Sally Rooney. This book was amazing. The Presence of Absence. I really think this should be like a Lifetime movie. Kingdom of the Wicked. What if the devil wanted to marry you and you were Italian? Okay, sure. The Selection. Post-apocalyptic, romantic hot mess novel. The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. I thought this would be a smash hit for me, but really only the second half of the book matched the title of the book. It was kind of a so-so book. How I Invented the Internet. Probably one of the funniest things I read that's a comedy book with a great take on how the world worked as computers were being invented. The Goblin Emperor. Wonderful story, horrible character names. I won't be sad not to think about dictionary of words I'll never use again. Now, on to my project for 2023. This is a project I've been planning for quite some time and it dates all the way back to high school. In high school, I was given a list of the best 100 novels of the 20th century, sort of like 1900s to 2000. And it was a very relevant list because it was around 1999. 2000 was almost upon us. I think people were thinking, is the world going to end because of some obscure computer-related bug to banking? Y2K fashion was actually a thing? I still think about this list, and I've been thinking about this list for the last little while, and especially as I started my YouTube channel, because most of these books are books I've planned to read or want to read in the future. And what better time than January 2023 to come up with a ridiculous reading goal? And honestly, just for the clout of saying I've read some of these books, it seems like a worthwhile challenge for me to give it a try. The list I'm familiar with is called the Modern Libraries list of the 100 best novels of the 20th century, which is now owned by Penguin Random House. And these editions, Penguin editions, are things that I grew up on and are books that informed a lot of the literature that I read and things that shaped me growing up and things I thought about when I was younger. I don't have a lot of historical context for the books on this list, so I think it will be a fun challenge because I'm going to learn a lot about history as well as about literature as I go. So for example, I have no idea what Iron Weed or Sister Carrie is. I think this could be a lot of fun for you to follow along and we can go on a bit of a journey together as we discover books from the 1900s to the 1950s all the way to 2000. And like any reading challenge, it's bound to have some rules and regulations because without rules, what do we have? Chaos. And chaos is not what we're going to do here, at least not today. Rule number one, I'm going to try and finish as many of these books as I can in 2023. If I read them all, it'll only be double what I read last year, which is fine. I mean, that's fine, right? It's fine. I'm going to try, like really try to make a video for each and every one of these books so that you can join me on this journey and you can know what I thought about them. So if I find a book that I think is a bit problematic or if I think that is a book that I wouldn't really recommend to people out there, then I'm going to find another alternative book that I think could work just as well and is perhaps a better example in the genre of whatever I thought the author was trying to do. And of course, that will be my personal opinion, but that's sort of the fun of researching and examining a list of best books of anything, is they don't have to be the best books for you. They just have to be a list that you're critically looking at. There are definitely going to be issues with representation and how to talk about different kinds of people other than white people, and about how to talk about certain issues and topics. I'm going to do my best to try and fill in the gaps as we talk about different kinds of books that sometimes have some problematic and non-inclusive language. I will probably do a whole video about that particular topic in the future, but let's wait until I've gone through some of this list and see what we can come up with in terms of coming forward with better suggestions and better books. And part of this challenge is that I'm going to start at book 100 and I'm going to go all the way to the top to number 1, which, spoiler alert, is Ulysses, which no one should be surprised about because, well, people think it's a great book. They have opinions. For a preview, the first book I'm going to be looking at is The Magnificent Ambersons by Booth Tarkington. I think is going to be an awesome start because it is talking a lot about the appearance of the automobile in American culture and industry. I'll leave a link of the Modern Library's 20th century list of top 100 novels in the description below. Leave any comments if you think any of these books look interesting to you, or if there's something that you want to know or talk about as part of me going on this journey. Okay, that's all for me this week. Look out for my next book review, which is going to be The Magnificent Ambersons. And I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing start to your year. And as always, stay reading, stay curious.